You say slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not real, and I really want.
This is part 11 of the Craftsman Emerson Generation 2 Drill Press Set Rebuild Series. If you haven't seen part 10, click the link at the top of the screen. In this video, we will continue wire wheeling Drill Press A. Hello everyone, I'm Jeff and welcome to my shop. We got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. Okay, so these are a lot of the parts that we cleaned with the wire wheel in the previous video, part 10. And we're just cleaning out the bores on them now. And this is just a wire wheel bottle brush. I've got a bunch of different sizes that I'm using to clean these bores out. A lot of them have got some surface rust in them. And the inside area of those split nuts for the chuck, it's too tight of a curve for the wire wheel on the grinder, so I use a bottle brush for that. So if I have them in the size I need them, I try to use the brass brushes as opposed to the steel brushes. But some of them, I don't have a brass brush in that size and I have to use the steel. But I do prefer the brass. It removes the debris and rust and stuff without damaging the metal. So this is super slick stuff, and this is what we're going to coat all of these parts in. So none of these parts are getting painted, so we can go ahead and coat them now. So we basically just spray one side of them and then rotate every part. It's just kind of tedious. And then we coat the other side. And we'll move those off. They're ready for when we're ready to start assembling the drill press. So here we are with the belt cover, and it's got a dent, a bend right there, and a couple of other small ones on it. Nothing too major. So I'm just using a brass punch and my brass tipped hammer to try to flatten some of those out. The lip down there on the bottom, you're just using a pair of pliers to bend it into shape. So once we've addressed all of that, we can go ahead to the wire wheeling and stripping of the belt cover. So this is my angle grinder, and yeah, it's just wire wheeling. So basically I've got 4 2x4s with some 2 pieces of 1/4 inch oak between the 2 center 2x4s. And then I clamp all that together, and that is roughly the inside size, if you will, the diameter of the width of the belt cover, and it makes it more rigid so that I can wire wheel it. And doing the exterior this way is pretty quick, pretty easy. The interior is a whole different thing, though. And as I've said in the previous video, this gray paint that they put on the Emerson drill presses is very resilient. I'm having to use a good bit of pressure to get it to come off of there. And you can see I kind of bent that one side there, but we'll fix that later. That wire wheel kind of grabs the edge of it. I suppose somebody might be asking, well, why aren't you just using a paint stripping wheel on your angle grinder? And I get more mileage out of the wire wheels, to be honest. I've used a paint stripper. I think Gator makes one, and several other brands. But they just deteriorate really fast. The wire wheel's just tried and true. So this is a looser wire wheel. I guess DeWalt has basically two types of wire wheels. You can see the other one in the bottom right hand corner. It's a much tighter wire wheel, and I'll use that later on some of the cast iron pieces. So for the interior, we're just going to really be concerned with this top part. The sides, I think I've stripped the sides before using one of those weird angle sanders. I've got like the little triangle sanding pad on them. I don't know what you call them, but yeah, I just think I'd end up doing more damage bending it up, trying to strip the sides. So we're just going to leave the sides and paint over them. So this is the table, and we're just stripping the outer edge. We're not going to try to strip the entire bottom. And that paint is actually in pretty good condition on the bottom. There is some white paint in some of these cutouts that I was using that other wire wheel for. Then I'm going to wire wheel the table surface, and then we're going to sand it. So it's got some drill points in there where somebody got a little too aggressive and started to make that smiley face of shame on there. So I'm just using an orbital sander here, and I'm using 80 grit, 100, and then 220. And we're sanding that auxiliary side as well. Then we're going to clean the bores out. With a wire wheel. And once we've got all that done, that'll complete the table. So here we are with the head casting, and again, this dark gray paint, man, oh man. So I switch out the cup brush, or whatever you want to call it, that's got the crimped wires on it, with the knotted wires, which is a more aggressive wire wheel. And it definitely tackles it a little better. So I mentioned this in the previous video that this is drill press A, and when we get to drill press B, I think we're going to use the paint stripper on it and just do kind of a comparison in this series as to which, I guess, which method is uh, the least amount of work. May not be the fastest, but you know, effort counts for something. So stripping this head, there's obviously a lot of uh, areas that you need to clamp the head down to keep it from rocking away from you, because it's not square on all four sides. Now I can get a lot of this stuff done with the wire wheel that was on the angle grinder, but for these smaller little areas, I like using this cut brush on my drill. It's got a lot more flex to it. It's not as aggressive, but it gets into those little tight corners and stuff a little easier. And we'll clean out the bores just using various bore brushes. And we're not going to really be concerned about the main body inside the head casting. When we go to prime, we're going to prime and paint the inside of this thing, so any of that rust that's in there is just going to get covered. So here we are with the base, and again, we're going to strip it. You can see there is still paint on there, not a whole lot, but there is. To be honest with you, I don't remember if this is the base that came with the drill press or if this was the extra base that I had, because I had both bases sitting in the same spot after I cleaned them with the simple green and the citric acid. So this one had the least amount of paint on it, so that'll work in favor of the drill press B cleaning using the paint stripper. And we just need to clean that outer edge. And then the bores, we're not going to worry about the bottom inside. And that's the base. Next we have the stator. So this side of the stator actually looks pretty clean, but it's really dirty. It's got a lot of grease and stuff inside there. So I'm just going to use some acetone to kind of get the grease that's on that inside wall of the stator cleaned up. Trying not to get a whole lot of it on the windings. I don't know if it's going to damage the winding or that shellac coating that's on the windings. And then the outside body of it. And we're just using a toothbrush. We're going to go ahead and remove this general purpose decal. We're not going to replace that. We're just going to omit it. You can find them. I mean, there's a dude that sells some, like reproductions of them over on eBay, and I could reach out to my buddy Matt Blast, but it's not worth it for me to worry about that decal itself. So the rest of this we're cleaning with just soap and water. So the windings, very carefully, and then the terminal bar. And you can see this bottom side of the terminal bar is just coated in stuff. And although the soap and water is making a dent, I switched up the toothbrush to a wire bristle brush. And we'll just dry all that stuff off and blow it out. Now we're going to mask the windings and all of the lead wires. We need to mask them for the paint, but we're doing it now because the way that we're going to clean the outside of this stator with a wire brush, I don't want to take a chance of damaging the windings. So after we've masked this side, we'll flip it over and mask the other side. And I think my memory card got full, so I didn't get that on camera. So here we are with the stator now clamped to the bench, and we're just going to wire wheel the exterior of it. So some of my older videos, I would take this over to the grinder and hold it while working the wire wheel on the grinder on the stator. But the more I thought about it, this was a safer method and had less opportunity to damage those windings. So basically, I've just got a little piece of aluminum that I'm sticking in between the windings and the stator and then clamping it down to the table. You'll see that piece of aluminum when I'm done here. I'll set it off to the side. And that is going to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. In the next video, we're going to be working on the lathe, cleaning up some parts there. If you got any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. As always, I appreciate the support, and I will see you next time.